Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Good Morning Namibia on NBC. Now, SAN paralegal trainees say that for too long, there has been a sense of the SAN community being left out of access to human rights knowledge and protection. Now, speaking on the sidelines of the Human Rights Day, SAN Paralegals National Reflection and Planning Workshop, 2 trainees trained by the Legal Assistance Center with support from the European Union stressed that it is imperative for more SAN authorities to be selected to represent their communities and take part in decision-making. And joining us now for that is Mr. Santos Joas, the project consultant. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Mornings. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure to have you. Well, we of course have celebrated Human Rights Day. That's on the 10th of December, and that's also when the training, this training also took place. In your opinion, why do you think the SAN community is actually, or rather historically limited, has limited access to human rights knowledge and protection?
Well, there are quite a number of reasons for that. From the colonial period up to date, SAN communities has been always at the outskirts of our communities. And for this reason, they lacked access to resources, such as education and so on. And because of that, and also language plays a role. And because of that, they have limited access to justice and human rights.
Now, in what ways could increased representation of SAN authorities in decision-making bodies, such as Parliament, change the lived experiences of the SAN people?
Well, very important. One, for a start, communities in their respective communities can see that they are the same, they are kind, also in these bodies. They begin to see themselves as part of the society. And more importantly is they would be participating in laws that shape them, policies that impact on their lives and so on.
And why do we think that it's really that they are not mostly involved, rather there's very, very few representation from the SAN community in the government-making bodies?
Like I pointed out, it's historical, but also at the same time is education and also poverty. And the fact that they are in the outskirts of society.
So what was the aim then of this training that took place on the 10th of December, and what are we really trying to establish, and also what are we trying to achieve at the end of the day?
Okay. Basically, the idea is when the program was initiated by the Legal Assistance Center with the support of the European Union, the idea was to capacitate a selected number of SAN members across Namibia. And basically, we have trained over 11 members. These young people are being trained with the idea of sustaining the program beyond what we are doing. So once we exit, the young people would be in these respective communities and continue to engage with their communities. So the idea is for them to remain there and do an ongoing work with their respective communities.
Very well. You said 11 of them were trained.
In total there are 11. And from various SAN communities across the country, Chumkwe, Omaike region, and so on.
And what was the feedback perhaps from them, the 11 that attended? Were there any questions raised from what their understanding is, what is really the focus when it comes to them being involved in decision making, or rather this kind of exercise?
Human rights, maybe what I can stress is this specific training that took place in Windhoek was a continuation of what started 2 years ago. We have had field-based training in Omaheke areas as far as Vergenoeg, where we trained together with the communities on issues of community safety and community policing, community involvement in that. Then we had an expanded program in Chumkwe, again where we had community walks, where community members could engage with paralegals and also ask questions and get answers to issues that affects them related to human rights and so on. Coming to Windhoek was after we have had a number of regional activities. And in Windhoek, we brought them together basically from different areas to share their experiences and expose them to new components of human rights.
Yeah.
They had a chance to interact with the Office of the Ombudsman. They had a chance to have presentations from people that work with women rights issues. And also had an opportunity to listen to an expert speaker on language issues, especially marginalized languages and so on.
Yeah.
So they learned quite a lot of this, and hopefully they will take this back with them.
Yeah, you've made it known to us now that this has been a practice that took place for 2 years. What are some of the challenges that paralegals, trainees actually face when trying to bring human rights information back to the communities?
Well, one of the major challenges is that the distances. You would find that some paralegals have to travel quite a number of kilometers to pass on the message. So distance is one challenge, but for me the most important challenge has always been the ability to translate complex legal issues back to the community. And one of the program's initiatives is to present this in a practical way to them to be able to share it back with their communities, but still that remains some of the challenges. So ongoing support, ongoing mentorship is still needed.
Yeah, and if you can just also give us a reflection on some of the important outcomes of the Paralegal and National Reflection and planning workshop and the themes as well that were covered, some of them, if you can just share a few of us.
Okay, just quickly, one of the outcomes from the reflections is that, yes, we have come a long way, but at the same time, there's a lot still to be done. That's one key common understanding that they came up. These guys are coming from different locations, but at the same time you can see there's a theme that there's ongoing support needed. Now, in terms of strategies that has been identified in addition to that is ongoing use of social media, and that training was also provided in devices that they can use. They have been provided with devices with training, and also a very extensive conversation took place with regard to how responsibly they should use social media platforms, and they were capacitated in those areas. And then they have been guided in terms of how to engage with traditional leaders, and also how to act as an interface between young people, women, and leaders in their communities, as well as with public institutions.
I'm sure there are always going to be recommendations then made after every training. What are some of them that you can share with us going to the next one that's of course going to be hosted hopefully next year?
Yes. If you look, a number of key issues that faces San communities is lack of access to land. As we know, land is one of their critical concerns. Right. Access to water resources, and more importantly, education in their own languages from childhood, and perhaps above all, ability to practice their culture and so on. Yeah. So there has been a number of ideas and strategies that came from the paralegals themselves as to how they can move forward in contributing towards these elements to be brought back.
Yeah. Talk to us about what perhaps recommend another what possible collaborations can be encouraged from what we've just now seen. What more needs to be done, and what can government do to really make sure that we are really forthcoming in making sure that the San community is well represented, that they are seen, and of course that they are also empowered when it comes to human rights.
Yes. Firstly, one needs to stress that it is about the San community, so it has to be bottom up. And this is the main reason why the Legal Assistance Center takes an approach of bottom-up approach to capacitate them and have a resource in the community. Having done that, it is now up to the paralegals to engage with community organizations within their localities, to engage with ministries, to engage with public institutions within their regions and so on, and to also make sure, because resources are limited, and therefore the more they collaborate, the more we collaborate with other stakeholders, the bigger the impact would be. So that is one of the built-in strategies in our approach together with them.
Absolutely. I think this is quite an interesting and very important practice that has been taken up by the Legal Assistance Center for the past 2 years. Thank you so much for the great work that you're doing, and we wish you all the best. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we would want to use this opportunity to express thanks to the European Union, but more so to the paralegals who on a daily basis are in the community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Joas, and wish you all the best.
Sure.